In music, we have a unique alphabet containing just 12 notes. This alphabet is known as the chromatic scale and is the same alphabet used for guitar, piano, saxophone, and even voice. You can't learn a new language without knowing the alphabet, so memorizing the scale forward and backward is the first step to understanding theory. It's important to remember that the note names within the musical alphabet are essentially just labels for different sound frequencies. And unless you have perfect pitch, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a C or a C sharp without some sort of musical context. Why do we call the note G a G? It's just a label that sound frequency was given hundreds of years ago to help keep things organized. Understanding why we use this system will make a lot more sense later on when we learn scale construction, but for now it's important to just learn the musical alphabet as is. Now, you might be wondering why a guitar would need 6 strings and 20-something frets if there are just 12 notes in music. The answers are octaves. The 12 notes actually repeat themselves in higher or lower versions of the same 12 notes called octaves. If you start on the note C and count up 12 notes, you're going to land on the note C again in the next octave up. The concept of octaves is really easy to see on a piano due to its linear design. A typical 88-key piano has just over 7 of these octaves, which again means higher or lower versions of the same 12 notes. A typical guitar has 4 octaves or less, though there is some overlap between different string sets. The 12 notes consist of 7 natural notes labeled A through G, though traditionally we would start on the note C, and 5 accidental notes labeled as the sharps and flats. Now, I think the term accidental is really poorly named because there's nothing accidental about these notes. They are their own notes, and their use is extremely intentional. You'll notice that each of the accidental notes has 2 labels, both a sharp and a flat. The sharp and flats serve a very simple function. The sharp symbol resembles a hashtag and means to raise by 1 note. The flat symbol resembles a lowercase b and means to lower by 1 note. On the 2nd fret of the B string, we see a note that has 2 labels, both a sharp and a flat. Since it's 1 note above C, it's a C sharp. Since it's also 1 note below D, it's also a D flat. It's either or both, depending on context. Again, this is still its own note with its own sound frequency. More on that when we learn about scale construction. The last thing to remember for now is there is no sharp or flat note between E and F or B and C. There are only 5 accidentals as opposed to 7 natural notes, so they had to drop them from somewhere. So again, for now, just focus on learning the musical alphabet, aka the chromatic scale, as is, forward and backward the best you can. This is the first step to learning the notes on the guitar and everything that music theory will have to offer, including learning scales, chords, songwriting, playing leads, improvising. You get the idea. Good luck.